I don't know how much you've seen of Gable Steveson's recent antics in WWE. He had a match, his debut match, Great American Bash NXT. Fans were already chanting for Baron Corbin. Anyway, so it was Gable Steveson versus Baron Corbin debut match. And to be honest, Gable Stevenson's already having a bit of a hard time of it as well at the moment. He's been doing a fair bit of training on and off with WWE. Report came out last year that he wasn't advancing as quickly as WWE were hoping for. And then they have this match. I watched it. I watched it from beginning to end. It was okay. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't terrible. I think some people have been saying it's really terrible, but the audience got on him straight away. They started chanting for Baron Corbin, who, keep in mind, is like now in NXT, one of the biggest stars. He's had a character refresh. People are finally getting back into him after years of not really enjoying the character. And then Gable starts doing a bit of a Kurt Angle impression, doing an ankle lock, and then the fans start chanting, "You're not Angle, you're not Angle." And then Booker T says, "Shucky ducky quack quack." And then it ends in a double count out, which also angered the fans. Gable Steveson, what have you seen with him recently, like promo-wise and wrestler-wise? Anything?
I've seen him once or twice, not that much. But this is all good for him. Because if the people are responding to him, he's touched the nerve somewhere. And if they're even mentioning his name with Kurt Angle, that is great. Because all WWE will go out and say, "Listen, Kurt, come back and help this guy for a month, 2 months. Just show up at TV and just do some stuff with him. And then we'll put you on some of the pay-per-views and just to help get him over." And Kurt Angle could get him over just by being in his corner. The kid would get over just by being around Kurt Angle. And Corbin, by the same token, I think most of those NX fans are super, super smart fans anyway. And they've known the trouble he's gone through. And they're kind of respecting him for that. What is his new gimmick? Is it the same gimmick but amped up, or what?
It's just plain old Baron Corbin in trousers and a new entrance music. He's basically just ditched that Hawaiian shirt and hat, and I think he's just been plain old Baron Corbin.
Well, I liked him better when he was old Baron Corbin. Yeah, I liked the idea when he went broke, lost all his money or whatever. They took his truck. I like that. Because now here's a guy that can't go no lower. Oh, my God, what am I going to do? People love that. And they want him to bounce back, but he bounced back in a way that I didn't understand it. So if I can't understand it, I don't think the regular fans can understand it. I don't think. But I think this is a win-win for Baron and the Gableson kid. What's his name?
Gable Steveson.
Stevenson.
No, it's not even Stevenson, it's Steveson without an N.
Steveson.
Yes.
No N.
No N.
Steveson. Now he's on the Olympic team, right?
Yeah, well, apparently he's just... I don't think he's now going for a second Olympic gold now. I think he's dedicating his career to WWE, it seems. I want to pick up on something that you said just beforehand. If Kurt Angle is with him, then that will just instantly, the rub that will happen. But the fact is that Kurt Angle, when he debuted, I think he honestly thought he was going to be a babyface because he was an Olympic gold medalist. Now, Gable Steveson is also an Olympic gold medalist. It is actually a more accomplished amateur wrestler than Kurt was, and is probably one of the all-time greats. But it's the same sort of thing with him, just the fans have immediately started rejecting him. But the thing with Gable and Kurt is that Kurt had a lot of natural charisma, whereas Gable seems to be a bit of a pothole of charisma. He seems to be anti-charismatic at this point.
Well, I think you got to pump that into him. And I'm sure he can act stupid. Like, Kurt was so entertaining. And, you didn't know what he was going to say. And if he can find the right writer and the right delivery, he's got it. And Kurt did it. I don't know how much he did that on his own, but he had a writer too, because Kurt was over. And I think it's a win-win for Kurt and the Steveson kid, if somehow you just put them together just to get him over. So I think they got 3 wins on their hands right there in one match.
With
you never hear me say that.
No. With that being said, I want to also bring up this. I didn't realize this until a couple of days ago when I must have been on Reddit or something, and people started saying stuff about him. When he was 19, he was accused by a lady of sexual assault. It was basically a he said, she said, he said, because there was a second fella involved. And it's one of those things where I think she was inebriated, woke up the next morning, sort of figured out what happened, and she made a complaint to the police. The police and the university suspended him from all, I don't know if you suspended him from school or just sports, but essentially the police declined to prosecute, citing lack of evidence and just no realistic hope of getting a conviction. And then he ends up, being reinstated in school, and then he goes to win a gold medal.
What school was this?
Whatever university he went to.
You don't know?
No, I don't know.
First of all, I think that's just because somebody is accused doesn't mean they're guilty. And for the university to yank the scholarship or whatever they did or kick him off the team, I think he's got a lawsuit there, really. Tell you the truth.
Well, he was reinstated. I looked into this as well. The school, I'm sorry, I can't remember what the school was called. They actually suspended permanently, I think, like 5 student athletes that year over similar claims. So it wasn't. So it's not really like that. The school has a track record of ignoring these kinds of things. It just seemed to be unprosecutable, essentially, for the lack of evidence. And maybe
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they suspended them before they were convicted. And I know that's kind of, you can't keep a guy on your team and he's accused of all these charges. I get that. But yet, it could have been the girl just talking. And I'm not saying he didn't do it. I hope he didn't do it, because I hate any sexual charges like that, rape, because it's one word of the girl and she may be telling the truth, or she could just be mad at him and went down there and took out a charge on him just to cause him trouble. And that's the type of trouble that is charged when a guy is charged with that. That don't go away in 2 weeks.
Exactly, it sticks, and that's the point I'm trying to make, is that some people, regardless of, despite the fact that there was no prosecution, he was never charged with the crime.
They can always say, now, you were arrested for a rape charge, a sexual battery charge. And he can say, yeah, I was. That right there says that, well, I didn't rape her, or you raped her, but it wasn't. See, there's an edge on that you just can't get rid of. He's got it for the rest of his life.
Is it? Do you think it's something that can, for the most part, be overcome? Because there's just going to be a certain segment of fans that will absolutely believe he's guilty and never forgive him for it. And is it going to be a bad luck for WWE in the long term?
No, I don't think so. Because people forget that. They really do. But it's still there. Mm-hmm. Say, if he went to get a job, let's say that, out of WWE, and they look at this and they research him, and some of these companies, they do extensive background researches. And it says he was arrested one time for a sexual battery charge or a rape charge. Well, that's concerning right off the bat. So if they hire him, if he has another one, that company's going to shell out big bucks. So then they won't take a chance on him. A lot of them won't. So I'm saying, I'll say again, a charge like that never leaves. Convicted or not, you're stuck with it.